I'm Dr. Venkatesha Murthy. I'm 72 years. I'm from Shivamogga, Kannada, a student of Optimum Wellness Academy. I've done my medicine and diploma in child health. And many of my friends ask me, what are you doing at this age? Going for this training, 6 months training and other things. But still, I liked it. And always, I like to learn something new and which fulfilled my appetite, I should say. I'm doing this practice for the past 50 years as a consultant pediatrician. They are looking after mainly the pediatric illness portion. I'm practicing in a smaller town, not hi-fi city. I never attended any other such online courses before. But the feeling is, of course, because so many online courses, in fact, even my son and daughter, they used to say that it's mainly to make money and they don't teach anything. You study, you are an experienced person, you study some book, you will know yourself. There's no need to join to any online courses. It's mainly for making money. But without telling them, of course, I joined this course. I didn't heard of this institution before. Only in Google, once I saw all the courses, I felt that this course must be good for me. And then I just searched it. The moment I searched it, probably you will come to know about it. Somebody in the team contacted me, and I said, okay, this is course I will join. This I feel after the course, we have belonged to a family. We have this family atmosphere. Though we didn't meet our other colleagues, we feel everybody belongs to us. We are all family of OWA. Against all those things, I felt I did a very nice decision in this time, I should say. Initially, when I joined this, I thought it is like any other course. But the way you teach us, the technique you use is something different. As we see so many classes, even in conferences, you show slides and say something. But the moment the slides register in our mind, he will go to the next slide. So it is very difficult to remember whatever we hear. And then what normally the people say is a person can listen for a lecture about 40 minutes maximum. But here we can sit easily for 3 years, and this age I could concentrate for 3 years. It will tell you how much, your technique of teaching is so good. That itself reflects that. And as I put it, is taking notes, and that will make us more, make us to remember it more. And then whenever we go through that, we recapitulate again all the incidents that has happened. So the background and whatever the other things you have said when in this notes we have written, those things also we'll remember. So it's a very probably the best way of teaching, I should say. And definitely whatever this you have taught in 6 months, probably the people will learn it in 3 years if they go to the regular course. Maybe little extra academic portion. And for a practicing person, which may not be necessary. Now, in the academic cycle, you may have to remember Krebs cycle for a few minutes to the examination. After that, definitely nobody will remember the Krebs cycle. And so many enzymes will be there in digestion. All the enzymes may not be necessary to remember. So that way, this type of teaching is very good. And the person who gets the training, he is confident in his profession. And if I want to take, or anybody, if you want to take up nutrition as his profession, you'll be able to do it more confidently. In the Optimum Wellness, I studied diploma in food, nutrition and diet. Building an entrepreneurship, Instagram, building your CV. There's the only one thing where I lag behind. But all the other courses are equally interesting. Yeah, the actual reason is today's problem is more of obesity, metabolic syndrome, and diabetes, plus problems in the adult cardiac or whatever it is. In pediatrics, in my setup as a pediatric consultant, the cases what you guess is not very challenging. The sense our cases, the variety of cases are very limited. If I go to an academic cycle, then it will be more interesting. Sitting in a town like Shivamogga, where we, of course, now it is a little high tech, but now I have to recapitulate the whole thing, whatever we had not learned now, to relearn so many things and to diagnose all those things. And you need a team of group doctors to approach your child with rare diseases. Common diseases, you don't need anything. So I was a little bored with seeing the same type of cases, same type of treatment. So I want to diversify myself. So with this today's problem of obesity, metabolic syndrome, I thought I should go into this field. My own, and I'm from a small village, 2-3 villages surrounding it. Yeah, so many diabetes patients, so many means it's almost every family has 1 or 2 diabetics. When they ask something about diabetes, I didn't know anything about it. In the sense, it's superficial knowledge. So I cannot advise them confidently. Now I can say that I will look after you. Even those cases in the village patients, that's more than sufficient for me to engage myself for the whole day. The faculty is very good. They are very well informed professionally, academically. Their knowledge is very good. They are very clear, and irrespective of their age, their presentation is very good. With so much confidence they present, and I really like it. All the staff, whoever presented it out, taught us, they are extremely good, and they knew what they are teaching. And listening everything, it's really great. Support is very good. Even after the lecture, if we get some doubt any time, when we put the question in the WhatsApp, normally we'll get the answer within few minutes. They answer it very appropriately, and if they think that needs little elaborate answer, they go to the extent of giving an extra bonus lecture on that. Whenever we ask any questions any time, we'll get the answer within minutes, I should say. Almost instantaneously we'll get the report. I don't name the institution. I'm doing in some other course in institution. Now, say when I ask the question, they say you send your email. Then they say they give another email. You send it to your question to that email. Then after 1 or 2 days, they said we have sent it to a student support group. They will answer. In another 3 days, they will ask the questions again. And this on go on, and I'll never get the answer for that my question. In some other cases, they just don't answer anything at all. Even you ask the questions, you will forget what you have asked, and probably the answer will not be there. The question what they receive is some other person. He will refer to some other person, and so on. So you don't get anything in that. But this is something very different here in OWA. It is something different. Whenever you ask any doubt, any time you ask, definitely the reply will be almost immediate. That is something very great, which I really appreciate it very much. One more thing is, they are all pre-recorded cassettes. It's not lively. It's not live discussion. Here we have live discussion. And when you are giving a lecture, if you have doubt, you write immediately and you will get the answer. But that doesn't happen in other groups. It is something like in a lecture hall, you go to a conference, they give the lecture, and there is time limitations. They will ask for only 2 questions can be answered. Invariably, the person would have crossed his time and no questions will be allowed. Or they say you ask the questions after all the lectures are over, and you don't remember your question because that lecture portion itself, it is so fast, you don't register it properly. But this is something very different here in OWA. It is something different. Whenever you ask any doubt, any time you ask, definitely the reply will be almost immediate. So this is something very different. I really appreciate it. For learning, whatever you are doing is better. In a conference, what you do is you go for learning. But the thing is, you don't learn everything. You learn some concept. Probably later you have to study some other textbooks and other reference books, and so many times if it is not related to your profession. In the sense, in a place like small town, if they speak something high tech, which is not applicable to me, then I just don't remember even one sentence of that lecture. But here, whatever you say, it is applicable to me here, also in this small town. And each and every sentence is important for me. And that we have been able to take the notes, and we can verify it anytime we want, along with the books what you have provided. Right. You write along with us, you write the same sentences, and that's better, I think. And we feel you are involved in it more. Probably I should say no doctor is very good at nutrition. Even probably the diabetologist himself probably may know something about nutrition properly, though he will not have time to advise them. He will appoint a nutritionist and advise them. But other groups other than diabetologists, the nutritional knowledge is definitely very much less. So it's always better to have the nutritional knowledge. We can practice more confidently and make the patient treat patient in a better way. We have studied some nutrition when we are student. Unless you practice, it won't retain. And nowadays, as you know, in all high-tech hospital, they have a dietitian separate. The doctor will not have the time also. So when they are not practicing it, they definitely tend to forget. And sometimes if they are close kith and kith, probably even if their own relatives, if they get some problem, they will not be able to give proper nutritional advice. They have to consult a nutritionist. To that extent, the doctor is handicapped now. But of course, you have the attachment of a help of a nutritionist, it's okay. But still, as a doctor, you should know this very well. Because nutrition is very important. Of course, with nutrition, you can manage so many diseases. With alteration in the nutrition, so many diseases can be treated. When I studied in 1977-78 pediatrics, the nutrition is malnutrition. It's always undernutrition. Our aim is always to improve the weight and the energy positive, in the sense energy surplus. So the method how to increase the protein intake and calorie intake, our aim was that. And all those people who are mainly very poor group, you say you take 2 eggs per day, half liter of milk, so many vegetables, fruits, which they couldn't afford. So our plan actually, we didn't make anything like diet plan as such. So this child needs, of course we used to calculate. The calculation what we were making is their present weight and their expected weight, and then the average, and the average you calculate the energy requirement like 100 kilo in a child, it's 100 calories per kg body weight, 80 to 100, and then the protein and other things as macronutrients. But the thing is, they were not able to follow that. There's a reason my professor, who is Dr. Nirmala Kesari, a famous pediatrician, she started a nutritional rehabilitation center in Davangere. Because there it's always for the calorie surplus problem. And after leaving that, nowadays we don't see that much of malnutrition here. And now it's actually, even in pediatrics, we see many obese patients, overnutrition and obese patients. So now the diet plan is really important. Not only diet plan, as I said, it's along with that exercise, both goes together. So I can advise my patients now in more confidently and give appropriate advice. Actually, to tell you frankly, as a doctor, whatever you have trained the students who are non-doctors, probably they will manage diabetes equally as a doctor. But you have warned them very clearly that you don't encroach upon this other field. You set your limitation, even if you know that what is the treatment or how to manage the case, you set yourself the limitation, don't cross that limitation, you stick on to the diet. And this course, if the doctors also make it a study to take this course, they will be really enriched with all these problems in what we are facing today. The diet is the most important, and as Hippocrates said, every diet, food is a medicine, and all the diseases starts from colon. So it's something like that. So the doctors should get this experience of nutritional course. This is my first experience, and with this I'm really very happy, 100% happy. Of course, now I am training in some other academy, some other subject, the medical subject, of course, like a purely medical subject. Of course, it's a same online course where I said my experience, what it was. So the Optimum Wellness Academy is the ideal one. Probably irrespective of what, suppose even if I start another academy similar to Optimum Wellness, I'll follow the same rules, because this is the best way of teaching and make the student learn it. So I don't think I can compare with any other academies, but this is the best I can say. Here also I will say experience with other academy. The teaching that course, of course, different level of teaching is there. So one set of teaching, say 5 sessions or 8 sessions, and then there is an assessment. The question asked in that assessment is nothing to do with the teaching what they are taught. So that is another drawback in other academies. And here, one thing is you cover all the whatever you are taught in that session, and the questions will be almost cover all the subject in that. And if your answer is wrong, you will give the answer to that also, and you will explain why this answer is correct, why the other answer is not correct, which is so important. Otherwise, we can refer it to some other book and find it, which takes a lot of time, which is not possible probably. And every time you answer in each session, you have 80 to 100, 150 questions. And if you get a wrong answer, to check all those wrong answers and find in the different textbooks, it is difficult. What you have done is, if the question is right, why it is right, and all the other wrong answers, why they are wrong answers. And this is extremely good. And this the last final assessment, 500 questions, 400 questions. We have covered the whole thing, and it's very appropriate, sir. It's very appropriate. And probably because of my knowledge in English and my expression is poor, I could not present in the way what Optimum Wellness should have been. But I can only say this is the best. I will recommend this Optimum Wellness Academy to the doctors, nursing staff, even for person who are generally interested in what of general interest. And there are some sportsmen who are doing marathon races, and even for those people, I recommend Optimum Wellness Academy. Now, Dr. Venkatesha Murthy, Optimum Wellness Academy ನಲ್ಲಿ DCH in Food Nutrition and Dietetics ಮುಗಿಸಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇದು ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಉತ್ತಮವಾದ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ವೈದ್ಯರು, ಶುಶ್ರೂಷಕಿ ನರ್ಸ್ಗಳು, ಇವನ್ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮನ್ಗಳು, ಮ್ಯಾರಥಾನ್ ರೇಸ್ ಈ ತರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋರು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಸಕ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್, ಅದರ ಆಸಕ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ಕಲಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇರೋರು ಆಹಾರದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ಖಂಡಿತ ಕಲಿಬಹುದು. ಇದು ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಏನಲ್ಲ, ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಟೈಮ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಗೃಹಿಣಿಯರು, ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಗೃಹಿಣಿಯರು ಈ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅವರ ಮನೆಮಟ್ಟಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಅವರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.